So, Wuthering Waves is less than a month away until Rinascita drops and the version 2.0 update comes out. And a lot of people have been very excited for this. Again, they've dropped a ton of drip marketing and a ton of kind of teasers and things. Now, currently they have been advertising Lumi as she is the next character to come out on the new banner. But if we go down a little bit, we can see that they started advertising for the 2 new 5-stars being Carlotta and Rocha. Now, obviously, these 2 5-stars are going to be absolutely amazing. And I think I'll definitely be pulling for Carlotta at least. I don't think Rocha is my kind of character. But it does seem like Wuthering Waves have definitely improved in terms of advertising and just getting their characters out there. But there has been a lot of talk around some of the characters and also the story and other kind of features coming to version 2.0, which people are kind of worried about, as they think it might not perform to their kind of expectations and that maybe, you know, version 2.0 won't be as fun as people think it might be, because there has been a ton of stuff like leaks and everything like that, which can kind of spoil the overall kind of enjoyment of the game, because whenever you know everything that's going to happen already, well, it just becomes less fun. Recently, I saw an article from Game Rant talking about how Wuthering Waves could actually improve in version 2.0 for one very specific reason. So we're going to be going through the article and talking about my thoughts and opinions on what Game Rant thinks, because again, I do think there should be some changes that should be made into version 2.0 to keep players playing and pretty much just enjoying the game overall. But I want to see if Game Rant has actually hit the nail on the head, or if their ideas maybe aren't as good as I first thought they were. But before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy it, and also go to my Twitch where I'm going to be streaming live. I definitely recommend going over there. We do a ton of Wuthering Waves stuff, and also we cover a lot of gacha content. You know, we do some react videos, everything like that. So I definitely recommend going over there, give me a follow, because then you get notified as soon as I go live. So as I said, you can find it down below, and yeah, I'll see you guys over there. But let's get back into the video. So this is the article from Game Rant, which came out just the other day. It says Wuthering Waves 2.0 should avoid one massive pitfall from version 1.0. Now, I was very intrigued on what this could actually mean and what this means for the future of Wuthering Waves, and they say Wuthering Waves' next major update, version 2.0, will debut on January 2nd. Though several compelling resonators and features are included in update 1.4, version 2.0 is upping the ante with a new nation to explore, and Wuthering Waves is arriving on PlayStation 5. Excitement for the open world gacha title is mounting. So yeah, I definitely feel like Wuthering Waves as a whole, with the announcement of PS5 and stuff, is just only going to get bigger. Obviously, it keeps getting bigger in the gacha space and also just in the, you know, major gaming space as well, due to the amazing updates that they've been bringing out, and also just some other stuff as well. You know, they've been advertising a lot better. They've been, you know, making better story. They've been trying to improve their game a lot. And I think that's really shown, and a lot of players are really recognizing that. And with the addition of PlayStation 5, it's just going to bring even more players to the game. And that is one big reason why Wuthering Waves can't really fail here whenever it comes to version 2.0, because again, if they do fail, then it could be quite bad for players, and players might just leave, especially the new ones. But hopefully, looking at a lot of the trailers and a lot of the drip marketing, it looks like this version 2.0 update is actually going to be good, and if not better than version 1.0. And then they're going to say, noticeably, despite the hype surrounding the game, there are pitfalls Kuro Games should avoid going into version 2.0. While it's impressive that Wuthering Waves is nominated for Best Mobile Game at the 2024 Game Awards, it should remain open to constructive criticism. For instance, the studio may want to diversify its list of playable characters to include more male resonators. So again, it seems like they're going down the kind of male to like female, you know, ratio whenever it comes to the game. And I do think it's true in this sentence. They say it should remain open to constructive criticism, which I think is very true. And a lot of people forget this, that, you know, Wuthering Waves is still a game that can improve. It's nothing perfect. I think a lot of people and also content creators need to call out whenever it does go wrong or things that they dislike with the game, so it can get fixed in the future, and it should never be shut down by some of the audience, because I have seen recently in the Wuthering Waves community of people just shutting down other people with opinions, you know, it's just an opinion, it's really not that big of a deal, and that's just what they think of the game. And, you know, if that can be improved on by Kuro Games, then obviously it's going to help out Wuthering Waves as a whole, because they're going to do much better. Then we move on to the second kind of category, which they say Wuthering Waves could expand its roster with more male characters. They say Wuthering Waves features a roster that's 75% female. Of the 25 playable resonators currently available, 7 of these are male. When including the Phase 2 banners from version 1.4 alongside the 5 confirmed Rinascita characters, the total number of playable characters increases to 31. Of the Rinascita characters, only 1 male character has been revealed. Therefore, the percentage of playable male resonators compared to female resonators is strikingly only 25%, which is true. Again, it is really surprising that whenever we actually got some of the direct marketing for version 2.0, we only actually saw mainly female characters. Obviously, we had Carlotta, then we had Zany, we had Rocha, and then Brant being the only male character. Now, let's just be real. Brant is a very good design male character, so it's not like they can't design this. And if anything, he's one of the most popular as well. So maybe this says to Wuthering Waves that male characters can get popular in the game too, because I do feel like that is the main reason why they don't really, you know, actually bring these out, because they just don't think it will sell well, even though that is just a myth. I think that male characters can sell very, very well whenever it comes to, you know, even just abilities alone. But also, you know, Brant looks like a very well-designed character as well, to the point where I, who usually pulls on a lot of female characters over male characters, might actually pull on him, because he's got this really cool, like, sailor, kind of piratey kind of vibe, which I do like, and I think that a lot of other people will enjoy as well. And then obviously you have Phoebe there as well. Again, so it is a mainly female roster coming to Rinascita, but hopefully we will see some more male characters added in the future. And they say, while many female characters in Wuthering Waves are aesthetically pleasing and offer more unique abilities, Courier Games should consider fortifying its roster, including more male characters. As of patch 1.4, the most recent male character, Changli was introduced alongside version 1.2, released over 2 months ago. Though it's worth noting that Jian headlined a rerun banner in Wuthering Waves in version 1.3, he was not a new resonator. For reference, the complete list of characters are here. Again, it's just got like Alto, Brant, Kaocharo, Jian, Lingyang, Mortefi, Zheng Liao, and Yuan Wu. Again, I think that, you know, some of the male characters are actually really strong in this game, and I think that is where they kind of outshine a lot of the female characters. Obviously, I don't know how Brant is going to be in Rinascita, but Kaocharo, again, a very strong character whenever it first came out, and Jian, still a very strong character to this day. Zheng Liao as well. Zheng Liao came out free, and it's actually surprising, you know, how good he is, and people use him all the time because he's free, he's easy to use, and they just, you know, chuck him into a Tower of Adversity team, which, again, is really, really good. So I think what's the main takeaway from this at the moment is that, you know, obviously Game Rant want to add more male characters, but also I think it's not too bad, because it's not like they present male characters as being like the worst units or anything like that. I think they do have a very, very, you know, strong kit, you know, most of them do. And I think that's where they do appeal over the female characters. And so whenever they do come out, you know, the little that they do, because there's only 25% of them, but they actually come out quite strong, which I think is a very, very good idea from Wuthering Waves. But it would be nice to see them implement a little bit more. They say similar games like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star have been disparaged for featuring an overwhelming number of female characters. The reason may vary, but the main theory is that anime-style games typically attract more male players than female players. This calls into question the over-sexualization of females in titles like Genshin Impact. While this may not be as prominent in Wuthering Waves, Courier Games could still broaden its male lineup to cater to a diverse preference of its community. Now, I think it's definitely like dependent on where the game is based as well. Obviously, there is a very, very big male audience whenever it comes to gacha games. You know, big surprise, you know, a lot of males play gacha games. Like, oh my god, a lot of males like big boobies on their game. Like, let's be real. But we have games like this, like Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves, which have, you know, less kind of that character design. Obviously, there was a couple of characters out there which, you know, are, you know, hot as fuck. Let's just be real. But apart from that, you know, there are some characters that are a little bit more modest, and a lot of like people, even like female players that don't really like the whole sexualization stuff that goes on in gacha games, could play a game like Genshin Impact and maybe Wuthering Waves. Now, Wuthering Waves, a little bit like on the kind of I don't really know side, because obviously Camellya has her like ultimate, which is a little bit sexualized. But again, I do think that it's not really that much of a problem. It's just like, you have to be very clear of your audience where your game's going to go. And then the people that want to play it can play it, and the people that don't want to play it, well, they don't want to play it, you know? And that's why a lot of people don't play games like Nikkei, didn't, you know, play games like Girls Frontline 2 whenever it came out, because it does have this kind of sexualization element to it. And, you know, some people like that and some people don't like that, and I think that's totally fine. Now, with Wuthering Waves, they want to be a little bit more global, which I think that, you know, kind of moving to more male characters would be the play, because obviously, you know, people just prefer a more diverse cast, I think, over in the West. And I think a lot of the games like Genshin Impact were catering to the Chinese audience, which had a very, very overwhelming kind of majority in terms of male audience over there. So I think that is why they decided to go for more female characters. And yeah, and I think the numbers actually show that as well in terms of, you know, people pulling on some of these characters. And then they finish up this article by saying Wuthering Waves' story may benefit from the addition of more characters. They say despite Wuthering Waves winning Google Play's Hong Kong Award for Best Story, its plot has garnered mixed reviews since its release in May. The post-apocalyptic world of Solaris 3, alongside the many mysteries surrounding the Lament and Rover's purpose, are intriguing. However, they have been criticized for the abundance of romantic storylines involving Rover, stating that they would like to see more diversity in the characters' motivations and desires beyond being fascinated with the protagonist. As such, adding more male representation to the game would help diversify the roster and strengthen the narrative by highlighting new characters, and fortunately the arrival of Bran in Wuthering Waves version 2.0 may signify Courier Games' intention to resolve this issue. Hopefully he will be the first if many in the update. Now obviously they go into talking about some of the characters coming to version 2.0, which we won't really go over. It's not really that much of like an issue or anything like that. But I do think that in the future, they should add a few more male characters, and they've made a really good point there at the end about, you know, having some better interactions that aren't just romantic ones like we see in Camellya, like we see with Shorekeeper, and I think that will be a very good addition if they do that, because again, it would be nice just to see like characters hanging out with other characters rather than the rover hanging out with like a kind of love interest or an NPC, you know, there's no kind of in between, there's no just like, oh, friend. Well, there was a little bit during the start, but again, we haven't seen much of that recently, so it would be nice if we can just go back to interacting with actual characters from the game and just kind of, you know, improving our overall socialness with some of the characters. I don't really know how else to describe that, but yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this article. Do you think that this is something that does need to change in version 2.0, or do you think that the male to female ratio at the moment is pretty okay? Because honestly, I don't really mind it. I don't really care either way, whether it goes, you know, more male or more female. It doesn't really matter to me. Honestly, I would prefer more female just because, you know, that's my personal preference. But honestly, I could see, you know, having like a 50-50 split. I'd be actually pretty happy with that because, again, it means that a lot of other players are getting what they want, and it will add a little bit more diversity to the cast overall, and it probably will help the story a little bit. So yeah, let me know down in the comments, and yeah, if you did enjoy this video, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and also go to my Twitch, which will be down in the link in the description below, or down in the pinned comment down below, so I definitely recommend going over there, give me a follow, and then you'll know as soon as I go live. Yeah, that's what I got, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all, see ya!